Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title, in today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to be finding out the honest thoughts of the person on your mind towards you. This can be any person who is on your mind, any type of connection, whether that be romantic or platonic. If there are some messages coming up that are romantic in nature, I will be sure to provide an alternative interpretation for those of you who are thinking of a non-romantic connection. But basically, we have 4 groups to choose from today. We're going to be using a different tarot deck for each group, and I've also placed a different crystal on top of each to help you pick. I am going to show as well a major arcana from each deck. I just shuffled through the decks, and the first major arcana that came out is the one that I'm going to show you. So they're all different. If you have multiple people on your mind whom you would like to know about, you are very welcome to choose multiple groups. You may even be drawn to multiple groups for messages about the same person. So please feel free to listen to any and all readings that you feel called to today. But without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. For my group number 1s, your crystal is rose quartz and your deck is the Likely Tarot. And your major arcana is the Death card. For my group number 2s, your crystal is Amblygonite and your deck is the Lucid Dreams Tarot. And your major arcana is the Sun. For my group number 3s, your crystal is Green Flower Jasper. Your deck is the Jupiter Power Tarot. And your major arcana is the Lover's card. And for my group number 4s, your crystal is Lepidolite. Your deck is the Live It the Ghost Tarot. And your major arcana is the Emperor. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one or ones are calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. I just wanted to mention that right before I started filming for you, Yumi, who is always asleep right behind me on the chair, she got up and switched positions, and I thought that might be a message for you. That could perhaps be a confirmation for those of you who are wanting to change positions, like start a new position at work, for example. Or perhaps the song Positions by Ariana Grande is relevant to you somehow. And I also wanted to mention an intuitive message that came through. For my group number 1s, very soon you are about to get a burst of energy, focus, and motivation. But it specifically came through that you don't get to pick what this motivation is for. Or maybe I should say your ego doesn't get to pick what the energy wants to go towards. I just kind of had the image of someone being like, please give me this energy, give me this motivation so I can do this task. And it's like, you get that burst of energy, but it doesn't want to be directed towards that task. It wants to be directed to something else. I don't know, kind of a interesting message that came through at the beginning. So let's look at the breakdown of today's full reading today. So we have the reading on YouTube as well as an extended. Here on YouTube, we are going to start off with an energy check to describe the person who is coming through. So if this does sound like the person you had on your mind, then you have found your group. It is possible that it sounds like someone else you know. And then of course it will be up to you if you want to listen to the rest of the message. But if it doesn't sound at all like someone you know or someone you care to hear about, then this is probably not your group and you may want to try listening to a different one. Once we confirm that this is your group, we're just gonna dive right into it and see the nature of this person's thoughts towards you, what they show you versus what they are really thinking on the inside. I just saw 222. Interesting. Why do they think or feel this way towards you? And we're also going to see when this person thinks of you. When do they think of you, or what reminds them of you? So that's the reading here on YouTube. And then in the extended, we are going to see what would this person tell you if they were completely unfiltered or completely uninhibited around you. How would this person react to your honest thoughts of them? And finally, how is this connection going to progress in the future? And I wrote the next 3 to 6 months as a rough guideline, but you can also just think of this part as the near future, or you can even think of your own time frame that you would like to see. But yeah, that's going to be our full reading for today. So thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, so we are looking at the energy of this person who is thinking about you, and we're starting off with nourishment. We also have the number 27, the fox with the keyword clever, and the number 14. Harvest, and earth. Okay, I'm getting Empress vibes from this person. Like, this nourishment card already reminds me of the Empress, but then we also got harvest and earth. So there's definitely that vibe coming through for this person. They are coming through with a beautiful feminine energy, I have to say. And that doesn't mean that this person has to be a woman. It could just be that they are quite in touch with their feminine side, in touch with their divine feminine energy. They could have feminine features, or perhaps this is even a person who helps you to connect to your own feminine energy and really be in that energy. I do think as well, this is someone who is doing very well for themselves materially. I just heard they won at life. So maybe that's what you think when you look at this person and the life that they're living. There may be something about them that is very aspirational to you, and you would like to, or you are striving to live a lifestyle that is similar to them. They seem to have everything they could need or want. I feel like they're doing well financially. I feel like this is someone who looks really good. Not only are they naturally very beautiful, like they have attractive features, but I also think they keep themselves very well kept. So they could be very well dressed. They could do their hair and makeup really nice. They could have nice accessories. It seems like they really pay attention to the details and how they present themselves, and they just seem to be a very beautiful person. But I also get the sense that they're incredibly generous. So this is someone who seems to have accumulated great wealth for themselves, but they don't hoard it to themselves. Like, they're very generous, they're nurturing, they like to share with everybody, especially with their loved ones. This may be someone I'm hearing, like, how do you find the time? Do we have the same 24 hours in a day? Because it seems like you work so hard, and then you also take care of yourself really well, and then you also are a great friend, and it's like you always have time for your friends and family and loved ones. It's like, how do you do it all? That's what I think you or many people think about this person. How do you do it all? And they just do it all, and it seems effortless for them. It seems like they just move through the world so gracefully. Nutrition is also coming to my mind, looking at this fruit and looking at this wheat. So this could be someone who is interested in nutrition or health, especially natural health or holistic ways of healing. This could be someone who gardens or grows their own food, or farmer's market is coming to my mind as well. Someone who's very knowledgeable about what's in their food and what's good for you. I was thinking of food this whole time, but it could also be, for example, someone who's really, really knowledgeable about skincare. And they're like, oh yeah, you should use this ingredient on this type of skin. Or they're able to look at the ingredients on a product and be like, oh yeah, this ingredient does this and this and this. They have that kind of specialized knowledge about something that is related to health or wellness or fitness, something like that. And I do think that in some sense, wellness or well-being is like a passion of this person. Yeah, the color yellow could be related to this person somehow. Foxes, cats, also rabbits are coming through. They could be a year of the rabbit, for example. Or rabbits can also be a sign of fertility. So again, there's that message of abundance. This person could be a parent, or they could really want to be a parent someday. They could be your parent. I don't know. What else do we have about this person? Well, this is pretty straightforward with the fox. This is someone who's very clever. They might be not underestimated, but sometimes people might think it's like, oh, you thought you could take advantage of me. Because they have such a warm and kind and generous demeanor about them that you might not know that they're actually very sharp, and they actually have very strict boundaries for their time, for their energy. Like if you are in this person's company, it's because they want you there. And on that note, I want to say this is not somebody who would pretend to like you or pretend to want you around. If this person didn't want you around, you would know it. So if they've told you that they like you, they care about you, they want you around, they mean it. So I just want to clear that up right now. Yeah, if this person had any, like, not even ill will, if they had any annoyances or frustrations or just like didn't want you around, they would tell you. They're not the type to hide that kind of thing. And so, I mean, we'll get into it in the tarot, but I'm kind of sensing that their honest thoughts about you would really not be that different from what they've already shown you, because they just really keep it real. They're gonna let you know how it is. I'm also picking up on like Scorpio, Virgo, and Capricorn energy, because I feel like those placements are just kind of no BS when it comes to how they show up with you. I'm thinking of Scorpio risings, Virgo placements, Capricorn rising. I don't know. That's just coming through. Yeah, this is a very healthy and balanced person, very grounded, very down to earth. This would be someone who is quick to call out BS or delusions in others or in the world. If this person was a reader, they would definitely not sugarcoat things. And this is someone who's actually able to do tough love, because there's some people who say like, oh, I'm just giving you tough love, I'm just being honest, but then they're actually just being rude or mean. But what this person does is real tough love. Like they're calling you out, but you feel the love in it, because there's that energetic signature of love in it, and you can't fake that. This is someone who loves genuinely and loves really, really strongly. And I just saw 1111. Earth sign placements could be significant too. Like I mentioned before, the numbers 27 and 14 could be significant. I think I actually mentioned 2 of the 3 earth signs already, which is Virgo and Capricorn, but Taurus as well could be significant. And that's actually one of the signs that is related to the Empress, so that makes sense. Any more hints about who this person is, or if this is the person you're thinking of? Any confirmations? Any more hints about this person? We have the 7 of Swords, so this person could have the moon in Aquarius or the moon in an air sign. Maybe you met this person online, or They could have a social media presence. They could work online or work remotely. They could do Zoom sessions with people or, you know, like video call counseling. That's also coming through. They could work in a field where there's a lot of misinformation or a lot of conflicting information, and they want to come in and clear the air. It's interesting that I was thinking about nutrition and skincare and things like that, because I feel like that is an area where there can be so many conflicting ideas, or it's just so personalized. Like what works for one person might not work for another person. And yet there's a lot of people in the field peddling that this is like the ultimate solution for everybody. And they want to come and just clear that BS. And they're probably very, very intelligent and really stand out in their field. And yeah, it's coming through again. Very low BS tolerance. I feel like they're quite selective about who they work with, who they're friends with, whose opinion they listen to, where they get their information from. They're always going to check the source. Maybe they're in a field of work as well where they have to always cite the source or make sure that things are coming from a reputable source. I'm thinking of journalism, research, scientific research, writing essays. Okay, we have, oh my gosh, it fell on the floor. Okay, we have the number 9 coming through as well. 1979 or 1997 could be significant. Spiritual awakening, love, karma, soul mission, wisdom, loyalty, freedom, creativity, and tolerance. A life path 7 or 9 could be significant as well. Oh, and we have I love you more. This is like, yeah, this person loves you. And they're saying, I love you more. Maybe I love you more than you love me, or I love you more than you'll ever know. Something like that. I could already tell this person has a very loving energy. And I wondered, for those of you who chose this group, if maybe you were just kind of doubting or second guessing things that they have told you. But I mean, that is quite straightforward. Maybe this person is very kind and affectionate towards you, but you have a hard time believing it. Like, if you've dealt with fake people in the past, it's like, you know, sometimes we could have friends who are like, oh my gosh, I love you so much, but then their actions say otherwise. So if you have that kind of past experience, maybe when this person says they care about you, you have a hard time really believing it. Okay, so this concludes the energy check. We're going to get into the tarot now. We are going to get into the nitty-gritty of what this person thinks about you. Isn't there something about a 9-tailed fox? Is that a Naruto thing? Or is that like a mythology thing? This was also the number 9 in the keywords was giving hermit vibes. Hermit is someone who really marches to the beat of their own drum. I feel like this is someone who respects authority, but they don't respect you just because you're authority, if that makes sense. What is the nature of their thoughts towards you? So we have a repetition, the 7 of Swords again. And whoop, what are they really thinking? We have the 5 of Swords. Why do they think this way? Why do they feel this way? The Six of Wands. Aw. When do they think of you? Or what reminds them of you? The Queen of Wands. And then we'll also take the bottom of the deck energy just to see if there's anything else they want you to know. We also have Justice. I feel like with Justice at the bottom of the deck, this person really sees the truth of who you are. They view you in an accurate way. They view you in a fair way. And I feel like we need to establish that before we get into this, that they're not viewing you this way just because they like you or something like that. The way they view you is the truth of who you are. And I don't want to say this person knows you better than you know yourself, because I feel like that's kind of cheesy. And I also believe that you always know yourself best. But you might sometimes have a perception of yourself that is unfair or that is kind of skewed by your insecurities. And I feel like this person views you in a more objective and realistic way than what your own insecurities let you see in yourself, if that makes sense. They help to provide you a different perspective and a balanced perspective of who you really are. With the elephant here, this could be someone who has known you for a long time. Or because I'm just thinking of elephant never forgets, and I'm thinking of this message that they could have memories about you that you don't have. Or you might have a selective memory where you tend to remember your mistakes or you tend to remember your failures. But this person remembers more clearly, and they remember all of the wonderful things you've done. They remember all of your accomplishments, all of your acts of kindness, all of the impressive things you've done that you might forget sometimes. They kind of help to remind you why you should be proud of yourself. They help to remind you why you should be more confident. Maybe that's something they think about a lot when it comes to you. Why isn't group number one more confident? Why isn't group number one more proud of themselves? I'm seeing this could be something that's already happened or something that happens in the future, but I'm seeing you and this person in a group. And you're having a conversation where in the nature of the conversation, it would make a lot of sense for you to talk about your accomplishments, to talk about what's impressive about you, because the conversation is on that very topic and you don't say anything. And this person is sitting there like, why isn't group number one talking about this? It's like if you were like good at gymnastics, just such a random example. If you were good at gymnastics and you're in a group setting and people are talking about gymnastics, would you not mention that you at least do it? Would you not mention that you've won this medal? Like, did you forget? And they're like, I don't know. I just feel like there's certain situations where you could be, and it's not even in a bragging way, just like that is what we're literally talking about right now. And they're like, it's weird that you don't bring it up. Like, why are you hiding what is so amazing and impressive about you? Because it feels a little bit more than just being humble. It feels like you're hiding. It feels like you're hiding, or it feels like maybe you think what you've done is not worth mentioning. And I just think that's silly. Honestly, when I saw the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, I was like, okay, this person's calling you out. And so that message of tough love makes a lot of sense. This person thinks that you are hiding. This person thinks that you are dimming your light, and they want you to cut it out. And they might be a bit, I'm hearing like a lovingly fed up if you are downplaying your accomplishments or downplaying your gifts, your natural strengths, what makes you you. I feel like they've passed the point of like, oh no, what are you talking about? You're so amazing. And being like, girl, if you don't recognize your accomplishments right now, like I swear to God, they're lovingly feeling a kind of way about it. And I think maybe they have called you out, or that's honestly what they're thinking about. And they might also observe sometimes that in certain situations you are not letting your authentic self shine through. So there's a feeling of hiding again. The Seven of Swords talks about deception, not like you're lying to people, but it could be that you are wearing a mask. You are showing up with a persona. Now I'm thinking of Complicated by Avril Lavigne. I see the way you're acting like someone else makes me frustrated. And, that's a song about why are you trying to be cool to these people? Who you are is cool enough. You don't have to make up a persona to gain people's approval. Like, what are you doing? And so, yeah, what they're honestly thinking is like, I'm not having it. I need the world to know who you really are because I'm so freaking proud of you. And I'm tired of you not being proud of you. I'm tired of you not hyping yourself up. Because I will hype you up to the end of time. But that means nothing if you don't do it yourself. That's the Six of Wands. That's pride, in a good way, being proud of who you are, proud of what you've done, being confident, feeling like the bad bitch that you are, okay? And bad bitch, anyone can be a bad bitch. You don't have to be a woman. But there is quite a bit of feminine energy in this group, I will say. But the Queen of Wands, in my mind, she is the bad bitch of the tarot. So that's how this person really sees you. When they see, because this is when they think of you and what reminds them of you. When they see someone serving, when they see someone out in the world being their authentic self and slaying, they think of you. They're like, oh, group number one could do this. Group number one could eat this up. In the previous example, we talked about gymnastics. Just a random example, right? But maybe they're scrolling through social media and they see a gymnast doing a routine and they're like, oh my gosh, group number one would look so good in that costume. Group number one would eat this routine down. Or they see, I don't know, maybe you're a model and they see a model on the runway and they're like, group one would look so good in that outfit. Or they read a think piece and they're like, group one's take on this would be so good. The world needs to hear it. Whenever they see someone doing their thing and being their true self, they think about how much you could contribute to that space as well. And it's like, if only they believed in themselves. I feel like they think about that a lot. They're a huge proponent of you being successful not through trying to be like something else or someone else, but just through being who you are. Why do they think and feel this way is the Six of Wands. This person really, really admires you and looks up to you. They feel that you have some strengths that they don't have and that they think are super cool. And I think in general, this person is a strong believer in every person embracing their natural strengths and celebrating the fact that all of our strengths are different. And that it's kind of doing the world a disservice if we all try to be the same, or if we all try to adhere to one version of success or one version of intelligence or one version of strength. Because if we're all the same, that makes us weaker. diversity makes us stronger. Like that's the kind of vibe that I think this person has. And I think they see you as someone who has strengths that are incredibly unique. And they really want you to give them to the world because they love you and they want you to be fulfilled and feel the joy of being authentic. They want the world to benefit from your gifts. And that's really just the vision that they have for the world at large, is like everybody feels comfortable being who they are, and we all benefit from the diverse strengths and gifts that we have. Why am I tasting beer right now? I'm thinking of, this is probably a thing at a lot of places. I used to work at a Tex-Mex restaurant and we would serve margaritas with like a mini Corona like upside down in it. So then as you drink the margarita, it like fills up with Corona. So it's like beer and limey. It was very good. I don't know, maybe margarita is significant. And now I'm also thinking about my grandma because she likes margarita pizza. Spelled differently, but similar sound. Margarita or Margaret or Rita or some Marge. I don't know. Some name like that could be significant, but yeah. So that's a pretty clear message. This person is rooting for you. This person just wants you to be happy, and I think they're speaking truth. The fact that this Justice card is coming out, I think this is Spirit's message to you, wanting to let you know this person is not just like blowing sunshine and rainbows up your butt because they like you. You know, the way they see you and the way they are impressed by you and the way they admire you is a very appropriate reaction to you. I think even me looking at this, I'm like, group number one, you gotta stop dismissing people's praise of you and being like, oh, they're just saying that. No, they're not just saying that. It's true. Especially this person. They would not be saying it if it wasn't true. And now I'm thinking of Treasure by Bruno Mars, because there's a line in there somewhere where he says like, I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't true. When he's going on and on about how amazing his lover is. I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't true. Oh, wow, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. I love that song so much. That's the third song that I've mentioned. So okay, I'll make a note of it after the camera's off because otherwise that will be boring for you. So we are going to end this part of the reading here. We're going to take it over to the extended now, where we are going to see what would this person say to you if they were being completely unfiltered and uninhibited. What would this person's reaction be of your honest thoughts towards them? And how will this connection progress in the next roughly 3 to 6 months, or in any time frame you would like to see? Yeah, so if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that is going to be linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch over 100 exclusive timeless readings just like this one. We also have 2 new ones every month, and you can decide the topic for the new readings. So that's going to be linked down below, and my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, your person, their higher self, and your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Amblygonite, this is going to be your reading. There's a couple of intuitive messages that are coming through for this group. The first is about birthday numbers. So this person who is on your mind, you might frequently see their birthday numbers, or maybe they are seeing your birthday numbers around. But the other message was about something in your near future that you are worried about or even afraid of. And Spirit wants you to know that this event is going to come and pass with no problems. So it's either like you need to know everything's going to go smoothly and there's nothing to worry about, or that whatever's coming and passing, you will not be affected by it. It's not going to impact you. There's also a message that you are not getting chosen. You are not getting picked for something, and this is a relief. It's like you didn't want to get picked. You didn't want to be the one to have to do something. And so you're going to be off the hook somehow. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at the full breakdown of our reading today. We have the reading here on YouTube. That's so funny. We're talking about birthday numbers, and I just saw my partner's birthday number. Okay, the full breakdown of this reading, we have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended, and my partner just literally texted me right now. Is this your significant other? I don't know. That's super weird. We are going to start off with an energy check. And that's basically just going to be describing the person. So if it does sound like the person on your mind, then you have found your group. It is possible that the person I'm describing is not who you were originally thinking about, but it is someone else that you know. In that case, it will be up to you if you want to continue listening to the rest of the message or not. But if who I'm describing doesn't sound like anyone you know or anyone you care to hear about, then this is probably not your group and you might want to try listening to a different group. Once we finish the energy check, we are going to dive right into what this person is thinking of you. So we're going to see the nature of their thoughts towards you, what they show you versus what they're really thinking on the inside. Why do they think or feel this way about you? And we're also going to see when this person thinks of you. Like what makes them think of you, what reminds them of you, things like that. Then in the extended, we are going to see what would this person tell you if they were completely unfiltered or completely uninhibited. How would this person react to your honest thoughts of them? And how is this connection going to progress in the next 3 to 6 months? So that is the full reading that we're going to have today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So to start with our energy check, we have the initial difficulty. We have the circus with the keyword social, also 333 as I'm holding up this card. We have, this is like light pouring down on you, light washing over you. And then we have wound. Okay, I kind of want to put them in this order. And I don't usually rearrange the order of oracle cards like when I'm doing energy checks. So that might even be a message for you. Something about rearranging, reorganizing, changing the structure of something. Our first card is the initial difficulty. So if this is someone you have known for some time already, maybe this is a person with whom things were a bit difficult at first. Maybe you didn't make the best first impression on them, or they didn't make the best first impression on you. It could be that it was difficult to read this person at first. It was difficult to get a handle on them and get a sense of who they are. Looking at the image on this card, you can see there's a heart that is partially concealed by clouds. So maybe it was hard to break through this person's external shell when you were first getting to know them. Maybe it was hard for you to come out of your shell around this person. Like, I'm taking this quite literally in that the initial stage of your relationship was difficult. Perhaps some of you are even in this stage right now with this person. Like, you're just getting to know them, but it's quite hard. And in addition to this heart concealed by clouds, we also have imagery of a wound opening and ghosts coming out. This definitely feels like past wounds being reactivated. So one of the reasons for this initial difficulty could be that someone's past wounds are being reactivated. So maybe there were some things that you found to be triggering about this connection. You started to feel like past wounds and insecurities coming up, or maybe this person was having a hard time opening up to you because some past wounds were coming up and they were afraid of that. But it's so beautiful that we have this message of light pouring down, because it's like the wound needed to open so that these ghosts could fly out and be released, and then your wounds could be filled with light. I almost feel like that was a purpose of you coming into each other's lives. You came into each other's lives to open these wounds so that you could properly heal them. And it's uncomfortable at first. But it's like I'm imagining an earthbound spirit that just wants to cross over to the other side, but it's stuck on earth. It's almost like there were some old heavy energies that were stuck under your skin. Oh, that sounds so gross. I'm sorry. But it's like the wound needed to be reopened so that those old ghosts could be released and they could finally cross over to the other side and be at peace. So it's almost like you came into each other's lives to bring back up anything from your past that was left unhealed, that was left unaddressed, unacknowledged, and that was just sort of lurking underneath the surface. And these could be things that go back many, many years. I talk about this sometimes, but there were wounds from 10, almost 15 years ago that were still coming up for me and still affecting me until very, very recently. So these ghosts can live under your skin for a long ass time. And I think that you came into each other's lives to help free each other from those old ghosts, from those old wounds, and let the light enter into your wounds and let the light shine into the shadows. Like, even look at this image. It's out here, it's a sunny sky, and I feel like the sunlight is shining into this dark basement. You came into each other's lives to bring light to your shadows and to embrace your shadow. Looking at this white and black cat, it's like no person is all good. No person is all bad. No person is all light. No person is all darkness. We are complex beings. We contradict ourselves sometimes. We all have shadows. We all have weaknesses. We've all made mistakes. We all have things that we're ashamed about. We've all hurt other people. And I feel like this relationship is a place where you can just spit it all out and not be ashamed of anything. Even this card is making me think of old energies coming back up, just for the fact that it has the number 20 on it, which is the Judgment card. So it's time to bring everything up to the surface. It's time to answer that call. Like, you're in each other's lives for some really liberating shadow work. And then just looking at these looking at these champagne glasses cheersing afterwards, it seems like the energy is going to become much lighter after that. So through going through this heavier shadow work with each other, you increase each other's capacity to experience joy and lighthearted moments in your lives. And especially insecurities that you've had around socializing, making friends, believing that you're likable, believing that you have a place in certain social circles, in certain fields, or in certain spaces. you're healing each other's wounds surrounding that. So you make each other, as a result of being in each other's lives, you'll make each other more confident, more outgoing, more feeling a sense of belonging and deserving to be here. Did I already mention Circus by Britney Spears? Because that song is a banger, and that album in general. That could be significant. I'm also thinking Britney Spears is a Sagittarius, so Sag energy could be significant somehow. This does seem like a pretty important and life-changing connection. We're going to take a few more cards to see any other hints or any other confirmations about this connection. We have the Empress, beautiful. So there's definitely love here. The number 3 is coming up a lot. 3, 3, and I saw 333 during this reading. There could be something about this person's Venus sign that is significant. Maybe your Venus signs are compatible, or their Venus sign is the same as your sun, moon, or rising. It could be the other way around as well. Maybe your Venus sign is their sun, moon, or rising. You will in some way help to teach each other what oh my gosh, I wanted to say unconditional love. Teach each other what unconditional love really is, but I almost said unconventional, which that could also be a message. Teach, like, you have an unconventional love with this person, maybe. You just make it work for yourselves. But yeah, what I was gonna say was teaching each other what unconditional love really is. And how to unconditionally love yourself. You teach each other how to open up to true love as well. We have Tuesday. Adventurous, courageous, productive, start new projects. So perhaps this is a very hardworking person. This could be a wealthy person. This could be someone with social influence as well. Or they're surrounded by people who have a lot of social influence. Like maybe they work with high profile people. I keep dropping cards on the floor. And don't trust everything you hear. I also just got a whiff of some kind of masculine smelling perfume. So that could be significant. And there's something about a basement too. Maybe this person's office is in a basement floor. Maybe you met in a basement, like, I don't know, a restaurant or a bar that's like below the ground floor, or something about a subway. I'm just thinking of things that are underground. Maybe this person likes things that are underground, like they have a taste for underground music or something. Tuesday or the planet of Mars could be significant as well. I was born on a Tuesday. I don't know if you guys know what day of the week you were born, but might be interesting to look into that. With don't trust everything you hear, there's definitely a wary energy between the two of you. And that kind of makes sense. Like, you have this initial difficulty, we're feeling some old energies being brought back up, and we're kind of scared. There's maybe at the beginning of your connection, it feels like there's a kind of apprehensive or wary energy. But let's get into your tarot and see what this person is honestly thinking about you. What is the nature of their thoughts towards you? The overall nature of their thoughts towards you. We have the Ace of Wands. And whoa, okay, what? That's a lot. I'm not gonna take all of these, but I will make a mental note that a lot of cards just fell out. So it's quite likely that this person thinks about you a lot. And as I'm saying that, the timer went to 1515. That's the number of the devil, which when we're talking about thinking about someone, it can indicate an obsession. Like they might be thinking about you kind of obsessively, or they can't stop thinking about you. And there's a song I've been listening to recently that just Spotify recommended to me, and it's like, I'm sick of thinking of you all the time, and I can't seem to get you off my mind. Maybe I will link it. It's a cute little song. But maybe that's how this person is feeling. Maybe they might also be like, holy crap, why can't I stop thinking about group 2? It can, the devil, especially with the Ace of Wands, this is not going to be for everybody, but it can also indicate thoughts that are sexual in nature. If it's not that kind of connection, obviously ignore that message. But if it is that kind of connection, then that's your confirmation that this person is thinking about you a lot in that way. Okay. So we're going to get a card for what they show you versus what they're really feeling on the inside. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. Why do they think this way about you? The Knight of Wands. When do they think about you, or what reminds them of you? The 5 of Cups. That like came out of the deck with a lot of force. It like somersaulted out. Anything else you need to know? We have the Lovers. That was actually the option for number 3 in the intro. I showed the Lovers card. I don't know if some of you guys were drawn to group 3, but that might be a confirmation, if you were drawn to it, that there's messages there for you too. I just want to read the keywords on the bottom of the deck card. We have divine love, deep soul connection, choice, harmony, relationships, value alignment, unions, balance, unity, and romance. I think what Spirit wants you to know about this connection is that, honestly, that it is good for you, and that, did I just move that it's good for you, that it is a healthy relationship, or it has the potential to grow into something that is healthy. Also, that the relationship will become healthier as each of you develop a healthier relationship with yourself. There's something about, it's like the more, well, you could say this about anybody, right? But the more you do your inner work and the more you heal, the more you can discern who is good for you and who is bad for you. And I don't know, there's something about this reading where it's like, if you were unhealed, you might think that this relationship is not right for you. And then the more you heal, the more you realize it is. Definitely use your discernment with this message, but it's sort of giving the vibe of someone who is used to unhealthy relationships, and then when they're in a healthy one, they feel really uncomfortable. But then the more they heal, the more they realize that this is right for them. That is the feeling that I'm getting with the Lovers. And there's a need to discern, like, this person is hurting me versus this person is bringing attention to a wound that I have so that it can be addressed. Because there's something about old wounds coming up in this connection because they're ready to be healed. And old fears coming up because they're ready to be released and they're ready to understand that they're no longer needed. We could be resolving trust issues. We could be resolving like insecurities about ourselves within this connection, resolving jealousy. I'm trying to think of an example. It would be like if someone had, I'll use a romantic relationship as an example, but it would be like if somebody had a partner in the past who was unfaithful to them, and they would say like, oh, I'm going out with friends, but then they were actually going out and being unfaithful. And then in this person's next relationship, when their partner says, I'm going out with friends, they get hurt. And they need to recognize that their current partner is not doing something wrong, or their current partner is not doing something hurtful. It's like an old pain that is being triggered because it's like hyper vigilant to protect you. I hope that makes sense. It's like a ghost of the past that is coming up. But if we're not being discerning, we might think like, oh, this new relationship is bad. This new relationship is hurting me. But we're actually just projecting stuff from the past. Like, it feels like this person is here to help you release things from the past, or you're here to help them. It's probably mutual, but this is what Spirit wants you to know about the connection. So the nature of this person's thoughts towards you do seem to be quite optimistic. We have inspiration, ignited passion, enthusiasm. You really light them up. You really light something up in their heart. This person maybe was even feeling a bit dull, uninspired, even hopeless before you came into their life. And you really ignited a new spark within them. They find you very inspiring. You could make this person want to be better, to work harder. You show them a beauty in life that they maybe wouldn't have seen by themselves. The little things that you notice, the little miracles that you notice every day, it helps them fall in love with the world more, and you've given them more of a zest for life for sure, and more of an optimism. Like I said, this person thinks about you a lot. If this is like a romantic connection, there was some heavy energies of sexual attraction there. If that doesn't resonate with you, it's probably that this person thinks a lot about the future of what you can create together, and really, really wants to make sure that you're a part of their future. The way it's coming through is almost like they don't want to think about a future where you're not in it. They don't want to imagine a future without you, and they have to make sure that you're there. Even with this 10 of Pentacles, there's a feeling of them wanting to lock you in, wanting to secure a future with you. I just heard like put a ring on it. That could be literal for some of you, like they want to put a ring on you, or they just want to have that kind of long-term commitment. That's definitely what this 10 of Pentacles is. You literally see a family on this card. So this person either like wants to provide for you in the long term, wants to support you in the long term. They could want to have a family with you. They could even see you as family, depending on the nature of this connection. They want to really weave you into their life so that you're not just an occasional visitor in their life, but you are really part of the fabric of their life. They want to have that level of intimacy with you, and they want to have that level of interdependency with you. I think this person is ready to have real intimacy in the sense of putting their heart on the line or taking some kind of risk to be with you. I'm thinking of someone who's, you're such a big part of their life that it's like, if you walked away, my whole world would be turned upside down because you're ingrained into so many parts of my life. And they're like, yeah, that's what I want. I want that level of intimacy where if I did lose you, it would turn my life upside down. I don't want to keep you like nicely on the edge so that if you leave, it doesn't hurt. Like, I'm ready to take that risk. I'm ready to take that leap. I feel like this is what they've been thinking about. I'm also hearing you're worth it. You're worth fighting for, you're worth the effort, you're worth the time. This is what they've really been thinking about. They could also, with this 10 of Pentacles, they could be thinking about introducing you to their family if they haven't already, or introducing you to their friends or people they work with. Wanting to make you more permanent. They could even be thinking about getting a tattoo that is somehow about you, or they want to get a matching tattoo with you or something like that. They want to make something permanent. They want to lock you in. Maybe they're thinking about marriage as well. Wow, because the 10 of Pentacles is pretty serious. Maybe, because this is like how they're feeling on the inside, maybe this is something they haven't shown yet. At least they haven't shown to the full extent how much they are thinking about it. Honestly, I'm kind of getting the vibe of someone who is planning a proposal or planning a life with you, planning a future with you, but they haven't really told you about it yet. I don't know, maybe it's a surprise. Maybe they're just waiting for the right moment to tell you. But it definitely is giving that kind of vibe. Why do they have these feelings about you? We have the Knight of Wands. I think this person, and I want to say from the moment they met you, it's coming through that way. From the moment they met you, they definitely had a gut feeling that you were going to be someone special. This suit of wands, it's about our instinct, our intuition, our gut feeling. So I think it's something that they initially picked up when they met you. And the more they get to know you, that just solidifies itself more and more. I'm sorry if it's not that kind of connection and this is like an uncomfortable message, but there is a lot of stuff about like physical attraction, or this could just be chemistry, you know? Chemistry doesn't have to be like physical or romantic. It could be intellectual chemistry. It could be your sense of humor. You know, you just hit it off right away. And sometimes those things don't pan out. You know, sometimes we meet someone and we're like, oh my gosh, the chemistry is great. We really hit it off. But then it just kind of fizzles out. And maybe at first they were apprehensive that it was going to be something like that. They thought, oh my gosh, this person feels really special, but I'm going to be cautious because what if it's one of those things that fizzles out? But it seems like the more time goes by, it becomes more and more evident to them that this is not one of those situations that's going to fizzle out. You keep proving and showing to them over and over again that you are a keeper, I'm hearing, and that you're someone that they want around for the long haul, you know? When does this person think about you? When they're sad, because that's actually really sweet. This person thinks about you when they're sad because it cheers them up. We can see this so clearly with the Ace of Wands too. You make this person happy. You motivate this person. You make them want to do better. So if they're ever feeling sad or deflated or down on themselves, I feel like your energy or the thoughts of you help them to pick themselves back up, dust themselves off and say like, no, we got to keep going, we got to keep trying, and help them return to that optimistic state of mind. You are a huge motivator for this person. I actually just heard they think about you in everything they do. They may consider you in a lot of the major decisions that they make. They want to build their life around you, or just make you that really key part of their life. You know, that's the 10 of Pentacles, making it permanent. What reminds them of you? Looking at this 5 of Cups, I'm also getting a feeling of, I don't know why it's coming through like this, but it's like, if they're, oh my gosh, I just remembered this story from when I was like 14. And I had a boyfriend, but I really didn't want to have a boyfriend because I was 14 and I just felt incredibly awkward and embarrassed about it. And we were watching, do you remember when people thought the world was going to end in 2012? I don't know, 2012 could be a significant year. But like the world was ending. Oh, that's a really nice song. If the world was ending, I'd want to be next to you. That's what I was really trying to say. I'm sorry about that huge tangent. If the world was ending, they would want to be next to you. Because the image that was coming to my mind, it is something like, there's this movie called 2012, and they were showing the world ending in the movie, and I was watching it with my boyfriend at the time, and he like texted me from beside me in the movie theater and was like, if this happens, I want to be with you. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was not ready to be dating. I was not having it. But I bring up that story because I think when your person sees things like that are like sad, or like the world is ending, their instinct is that they want to be with you. They want to protect you. You know, I just heard something like, oh my gosh, if that happened to group 2, or like if that happened to me and group 2, I don't know what I would do. They have some thoughts about you like that. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe that's significant for some of you, but definitely a message that I think is for most of you is that they do think about you when they're sad, because it cheers them up and it helps them pick themselves back up again. Yeah, that is the main message, which kind of got derailed by my embarrassing movie story. But yeah, so this is what I'm seeing for your person's thoughts of you. So we are going to go into the extended now, where we see what would they tell you if they were being completely unfiltered and uninhibited. How would they react to your honest thoughts of them? And how is this connection going to progress in the next 3 to 6 months? So, and I just saw 3, 3, 3, 3. The threes are being laid on heavy for this group. So yeah, if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch over 100 exclusive timeless readings just like this one, and we have 2 new ones every month, and you can decide the topics for the new readings. So I'll have that link down below, and my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to your person, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number threes. So if you guys chose this green flower Jasper, this is going to be your reading. Is she gonna focus? There we go. This is a really cool crystal. I actually wanted to show you guys a picture of Yumi that I just took before I started filming your group because she was sleeping and she was all snuggled up and her ear was sticking up and it was really cute. So that's her, that would be her right ear. So maybe there's something significant about a right ear, like ringing in the right ear, or somebody has a piercing in the right ear. There was also cinnamon was coming through, like the smell of cinnamon and the visual of, it was specifically cinnamon sticks, which is interesting. And now that I think about it, all of this could be to bring up a warm and fuzzy feeling, because Yumi definitely makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Cinnamon makes me feel warm and fuzzy. This crystal was gifted by a friend who makes me feel warm and fuzzy. So maybe that is a feeling that the person on your mind has towards you. But anyway, let's get into your reading. So this is going to be the full breakdown. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. In the YouTube reading, we are going to start with an energy check where we describe the person. So if what I described does sound like the person you were thinking of, then you have found your group. It is possible that it sounds like not the person you were thinking of, but someone else that you know. If that's the case, then it will be up to you if you want to continue listening to the rest of the message. But if it doesn't sound like anyone you know or anyone you care to hear about, then this is probably not your group and you might want to try listening to a different one. Once we finish the energy check, we are going to dive into their thoughts of you. So we are going to see the overall nature of their thoughts towards you, what they show you versus what they're really thinking on the inside. Why do they think or feel this way about you? And when do they think of you? So at what times would they think of you? What would remind them of you? Things like that. Then in the extended, we are going to see what would this person tell you if they were being completely unfiltered and completely uninhibited? How would this person react to your honest thoughts of them? And how is this connection going to progress in the next 3 to 6 months? So that is the full reading that we're going to be doing today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So to start with our energy check, we have failure. We have the dog, and the dog is being quite noisy behind me right now. We have the keyword trust. We have the full moon. And shadow. Oh, that's interesting. Full moon followed by shadow, because the full moon represents something being fully illuminated, fully exposed, brought to the surface. Often things that need to be addressed. It can show like the truth coming out. And then to have the shadow after this, it feels like shining light on your shadow. It's funny, we were talking about something similar in group number 2, and there were some little things in their reading that made me think they could also resonate with group number 3. So maybe there's a connection between my group 2s and my group 3s, and it's going to be kind of a similar vibe, because there is something about you and this person illuminating each other's shadows. I also think it's very interesting that we have a mirror here. The mirror calls on you to look at yourself. And then we also have these masks. So it's a relationship that calls on you to take off your mask, to take off your personas, to take off who you're trying to be or who you think you should be, and just look at yourself as you are. Almost like a connection that kind of strips you down. And if you're not ready to see the truth of who you are, that could be scary. The fact that we have failure here, that could be something that one or both of you is particularly afraid of in this life. And maybe part of your shadow is this fear of failure, or feeling like a failure, or what you're afraid to see when you look in the mirror, so to speak. I'm afraid of looking in the mirror and seeing a failure staring back at me. Maybe one or both of you feels that way. But then we have the dog with trust. Dogs also make me think of loyalty. I feel a lot of loyalty in this card. The number 18 relates to the moon, which in tarot, which also has like dogs on it. There's like the wolf howling at the moon, and there's like a lobster type creature on it, which also makes me think of loyalty because of that Friends episode where Phoebe's talking about the lobsters holding hands in the tank. So there is a feeling of loyalty and caring about each other no matter what in this group. Okay, that makes sense. So you care about each other no matter what, but you might project societal pressures onto each other and feel like they are judging you. How do I describe this? Okay, so there's the societal pressure of like making money and being successful in your career. This person does not care about that at all. They would never judge you for something like that or like you more or less, because they like you for the truth of who you really are. They like you beyond that mask of your career, beyond that mask of how much money you make. But there's something about projecting those societal things onto your connection and thinking like, oh, they're probably judging me because I make less money than them. They're judging me because I didn't hit my targets this month. I don't know, something like that. It could also be like anything, I don't know, for some reason society is coming up a lot, and like societal standards getting in the way of this connection. It could also be something like physical appearance, because we have the mirror and the masks, and society loves to make up new beauty standards every 5 to 7 business days. And so maybe someone's thinking like, oh, they must not think I'm beautiful because I don't have this ideal face type or ideal body type that everybody's having now. And that's like getting in the way of seeing the real love that is there. And the thing is that whatever you're worrying about, it's things that doesn't even cross their mind. This could be a mutual thing. You might both do this, or this may be how you sort of act towards them. My eyes are also going a lot to this graph that's going up and down, because we all have fluctuations in life. Sometimes we're killing it. Sometimes we're flopping. Sometimes we are making money and sometimes we're not. Sometimes we feel confident in the way we look, and sometimes we think we look like shit. Like, we all fluctuate like this. We all go up and down. And you might also project your own internal fluctuations onto how this person views you. So if you're feeling yourself and you're feeling really confident, you think that they like you more. If you're feeling insecure, you think that they're judging you. Maybe something to be aware of if you're like projecting your own fluctuations onto how you think they view you, because you might be feeling like you're going up and down on the inside, but the way they feel about you is constant, because all those fluctuations are an illusion of the external world, and they love you for your heart on the inside. Okay, let's get a few more cards for any other hints about this person. They could be a year of the dog. Off the top of my head, 1994 is year of the dog. 2006, 1982, 1970, and you go back 12 years. The numbers 47 or 18 could be significant in some way. Also 74 and 81. We have the Hanged Man. This person could have Pisces placements. We also have False Alarm. Okay, so that's interesting, because I was gonna say the Hanged Man feels like an in-between. It feels like a limbo state. So you could feel that this connection is in a kind of limbo, and then sometimes you might feel like things are about to progress or you're about to have a breakthrough with this person, and then it's a false alarm. The Hanged Man can literally feel like you're being left hanging, you're anticipating some change and you think it's gonna come and then it doesn't happen. Oh, we also have to do the Moon and back, and we were talking about the Moon card. There is strong Pisces energy for this group, because this number 18 was making me think of the moon, literally the full moon here. Okay, I'm a bit late to notice that. The full moon, dog is also on the Moon card in tarot, and then we have to the Moon and back. So, and you know, to the moon and back comes from that expression, I love you to the moon and back. So I also just looked up and saw 1212. So we had 1212 on the camera timer and 12 here. That could be a significant number. Okay, let's get into the tarot. Funny too that the deck we're using for you is the Jupiter Power Tarot, and Jupiter is the planet that rules over Pisces. Piscean energy is going through the roof. If you or your person don't have any Pisces placements, there could be something about Pisces season that is significant. So roughly like February, March-ish. What are this person's overall thoughts of you, the nature of their thoughts towards you? We have the King of Swords. And what about what this person shows you versus what they're thinking on the inside? We have the Tower. Why do they think this way about you? We have the Queen of Swords. Interesting. So we have the King and the Queen of Swords coming out. When do they think of you, or what reminds them of you? The Seven of Pentacles. And then I'm going to take the bottom of the deck for anything that Spirit wants you to know about this connection. We have the Ace of Pentacles. That's interesting. When I see the Ace of Pentacles, the message that came to my mind is that this connection can be anything you want it to be. And also that this is either your first lifetime with this person, or it's the first lifetime in a new cycle that you're about to have with them, because there's a feeling of you planting a seed in this lifetime of what you want or intend this connection to be. Also, the Ace of Pentacles, it could be representing the material world. And I feel like maybe with all that Piscean energy, it's like your connection is very spiritual in nature, and it's largely an energetic connection. And then sometimes worldly or material energies can make things confusing or make things unnecessarily complicated. Worldly circumstances, worldly cultures, worldly values. You know, we were talking a lot about society. So something about being on Earth could make your connection a bit complicated or confusing. Maybe all that Piscean energy, because Pisces is not a very grounded energy. So you or this person could be the type that kind of struggles with Earth energy, or just being in a physical vessel could be overwhelming sometimes. I do think that in some way you are like two peas in a pod with this King and Queen of Swords. You don't have to be a man and a woman, of course. Oh my gosh, I just said two peas in a pod and then noticed that that's literally the artwork of the Seven of Pentacles, is like pods of peas. With all of these eyes, there could be a lot of people who observe your connection with this person, or a lot of people who are curious about your relationship. Interesting. Overall, the nature of this person's thoughts towards you, they definitely, with the King of Swords, think of you as someone who is very intelligent, very insightful, clever, observant, mature, organized. They would see you as someone who has their shit together, who kind of has their stuff figured out. They might see you as emotionally closed off sometimes. Maybe sometimes they can't tell exactly what you're thinking or feeling. They wish you would offer more. They wish you would say more what's on your mind, or like delve a bit deeper into how you are. I'm hearing like how things are going for you or what you're going through. They want to know a bit deeper about your experience and about the inner workings of your mind. So sometimes they might feel, maybe sometimes they just feel like you're a person of a few words, but maybe sometimes they feel that you are actually closed off. They see a kind of badass side to you that I think others don't see. Maybe you don't show that side to other people. They see a side of you that is very like impressive and cool and badass, and maybe they wish you would show off that side more. You could be older than this person, or they see you as like more mature, or they see you as more settled than they are, or more self-assured, more like you've got your stuff figured out. I think this person doesn't really see themselves as someone who has life figured out. Maybe sometimes they feel chaotic, or they feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then they see you as someone who is more orderly and has your ducks in a row. I don't know if that's true or not. I just think that's their perception. They might even see you as a mentor or a teacher, or just someone they can go to for objective advice. They trust you to tell them the truth. They trust that you're not going to sugarcoat things. If you have different perspectives or different opinions from them, I think they value that. They like that you bring a new, fresh perspective for them, because sometimes they can kind of get lost in their own head and in their own inner world. And maybe you kind of help pull them out of that. You help bring them back to earth, so to speak. You maybe help to ground this person. They appreciate if you have kind of like a sarcastic or dry humor. I think they appreciate that, or they appreciate your wit. And they also see you as someone who is very talented. With the Tower, this is kind of a harsh message, but maybe sometimes they're afraid of your relationship ending. They're afraid of your relationship falling apart, or they're afraid of you leaving them. It's not really like they think you're the type to leave them or abandon them or something like that. I think it's more, maybe they just worry about you drifting apart, or worry about you walking away to other things, to bigger and better things. I'm hearing maybe they worry whether, with the Seven of Pentacles here as well, maybe they worry whether your relationship could stand the test of time, or like they worry about something coming between you, or something ripping you apart, like tearing the relationship apart. Even looking at this flower, it looks like one of their stems fell off, or one of their leaves fell off. I'm not sure. Like they could be worried about things falling apart. Why do they feel this way about you? We have the Queen of Swords. Sometimes maybe this person doubts how, it's not right to say they doubt how close you are. Well, actually, maybe they do for some of you. Or they doubt how much intimacy you have really built. Maybe sometimes they doubt how well do we actually know each other, or they doubt how well they actually know you. Maybe sometimes when they learn new things about you, they're surprised. They're like, wait, I didn't know that about you. How did I not know that? Or like, maybe even sometimes they're like, why didn't you tell me that? You know, a piece of your lore, or like something that happened to you in the past, or what's going on in your life recently. Maybe sometimes they feel like they don't really know what's going on with you, and that makes them sad. Like they want to be closer to you. I'm also hearing this exchange of someone being like, why didn't you tell me? Well, you never asked me, you know? Maybe they're thinking, like, I want to know more about what's going on in your life. And you're thinking, well, you don't really ask what's going on in my life. I don't know. Maybe it's like a miscommunication or a misunderstanding or something like that. It definitely seems like this person could be feeling kind of disconnected from you right now, or just feeling some kind of distance. And that doesn't necessarily have to be anybody's fault. Maybe it's just life happened in that way. But I do think it's something that kind of makes them sad. Maybe you go long periods without talking to each other sometimes, or maybe sometimes they feel that your interactions are kind of surface level. When do they think of you? What reminds them of you? I do feel like with the Seven of Pentacles here, this person thinks about you very frequently. You may even kind of be always on the back of their mind. There may be some physical items in their surroundings that remind them of you. Okay, I just heard for some of you, like they might have you on their lock screen, you know, like the phone's background picture, or maybe their profile picture is like the two of you together. And so they see that every day and think of you, or they have some picture of you in their house, or your belongings or something you gave to them is in their house. And so that physical item is like a frequent reminder of you. There's something about them thinking a lot about how much time has gone by. So maybe that's how much time has gone by since you last saw each other, or since you last like had a heart to heart, or had like a deep, meaningful conversation. Maybe for some of you, it's even the last time you talked at all. The Seven of Pentacles also has a feeling of being in limbo, kind of like the Hanged Man. We would often see in the Seven of Pentacles card a person staring at their plants and like waiting for something to grow, waiting for something to bear fruit. So maybe both of you are feeling that way, like this connection is kind of in a limbo, and like the way you feel about each other hasn't changed, but you're kind of apprehensive about how things will play out. It does seem like maybe the 7, because I'm thinking of 7 days a week. Maybe they could literally think of you every day in some capacity, you know? Because like I said, I think there's a lot of things in their surroundings and just in their daily life, in their daily routine that remind them of you. I just saw someone making a drink, and then they'll always think of you because maybe you taught them how to make it or you introduced it to them. And I was picturing matcha, like something someone drinks in the morning, like they're making matcha or they're making a coffee or something. And then that will always make them think of you because like maybe you told them about matcha. That's just one example, right? But I think you're definitely a part of their daily life in more ways than one. You know, things that you have introduced to them, things that you have told them about, things that you taught them, maybe like you've had, like they've talked to you at length about people in their life. So then when they see those people, it reminds them of you. There's a lot of things in their everyday that would make their brain have these little quick thoughts about you, and they never really forget about you. Like they always kind of feel your energy around. And I have this kind of painful feeling in my heart with this message. I really do think that this person misses you. They miss your presence, or they miss a level of closeness that you once had. Or even, maybe this is weird, but it's like they miss what could have been. Even though that feels like something in the future. Maybe they miss a future that they used to believe in. They miss a future that they used to be hopeful about. I don't get the sense that you're completely out of each other's lives. And maybe there's not even heavy energy between the two of you, but there is just this feeling of, I wish we were closer. I wish we saw each other more. I wish we talked more often. Sometimes I feel like you're slipping away, or I feel afraid that you're going to. Maybe they just want more like reassurance that you're good and that you still got each other and you're still like close or something like that. Yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah, I think this is everything. I just saw 27. I think this is everything. So we are going to move over to the extended now, where we're going to see what would this person tell you if they were completely unfiltered and completely uninhibited. How would they react to your honest thoughts of them? And how is this connection going to progress in the next 3 to 6 months? So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch over 100 exclusive, timeless pick a card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on the topics for future readings. We do 2 new ones every month, so I will have that linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, your person, their higher self, and your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Lepidolite, this is going to be your reading. There is already a lot coming through about this person's thoughts and feelings for you, and I would probably guess that my group number 4s, you receive a lot of telepathic messages from this person. The word that was coming to my mind was actually bombarded, like being bombarded with messages from this person. So maybe you're already gonna know everything that we look at today, but I will share with you what was coming through. There was a message about your person feeling calmed by your presence. So if they're ever nervous, if they're ever stressed out, even if they're just feeling down, you or the thought of you immediately makes them feel better and makes them feel at ease. I just heard like just knowing you exist actually puts this person at ease. Knowing that someone like you exists in this world. And there was also something coming through. Maybe this is not for everybody, but I did hear that your person sometimes thinks about you when they are drunk or when they are, under the influence of some kind. Take that if it resonates, of course. And there was something about they kind of feel lame for thinking about you. And I was trying to figure out what that means. It could be for some of you because they think that you are out of their league. And so that makes them feel kind of lame. Or they think that you are not thinking about them. So then they feel lame because they think it's one-sided. Or, I don't know, maybe they just associate being attached to you or being attached in general as like a lame thing, but that was the word that was coming through. I also just looked up and saw 224, which I thought could be significant. So like the number 2 or 4 or 24 or 42. Yeah, those numbers could be significant somehow. But yeah, and then I just saw 244. So let's take a look at the full breakdown of this reading. I have a feeling that this one is going to be pretty vulnerable. But let's get into it. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we're going to start with an energy check to describe this person. So if who I'm describing does sound like the person you have on your mind, then you have found your group. It may happen that who I'm describing doesn't sound like the person you were initially thinking of, but it does sound like someone else you know. And if that's the case, of course, it will be up to you if you want to continue listening to the rest of the message. But if who I describe doesn't sound like anybody you know or anybody you care to hear about, then this is probably not your group and you might want to try listening to a different one. Once we finish the energy check, we will see the nature of this person's thoughts towards you, what they show you versus what they're really thinking on the inside, why they think or feel this way about you. And also, we kind of just talked about this, but when does this person think about you and what reminds them of you? And now I'm hearing this song. Do you think about me? Do you think of me? I'm gonna have to link these songs. Oh yeah, I made a note of this and I think I forgot to mention it. There was another song that was coming up for this group. And I've definitely mentioned this song in a reading before because I just really like this song, but it's called Escape, specifically the John Summit remix. And I thought that the lyrics in particular to this song could be relevant to this group. So I will link the song, but I think I'm also going to link the lyrics because I think those are meaningful. And I saw 444 as I was saying that. Okay, back to the breakdown of the reading. We also have an extended reading today where we're going to see what would your person tell you if they were being completely unfiltered and completely uninhibited. How would they react to your honest thoughts of them? And how is this connection going to progress in the next 3 to 6 months? So that's going to be the full reading for today. Thank you so much for being here and let's get into it. For our energy check, we have Fervor, the dove with the message of protection. Ooh, we have the red thread of fate. And we have rage. Okay, and 555 as I'm showing the rage card. Signs, symbols, imagery that could be relevant to this person or this connection. We have a horse, specifically a black horse, a dove, a spider, a cactus, rainbow, the red thread of fate, of course, and mountains or volcanoes could be significant in some way. Maybe this person is from somewhere that has a volcano. Okay. This rage, I'm feeling it more as frustration than rage. I feel like rage is a pretty strong word. Although maybe sometimes one or both of you could feel, I just heard angry at the world. Or like angry at the state of this connection or some barriers that are in place. When I saw 555 with the image of the volcano, it did feel like, because 5 is the number of change, right? It felt like powerful change that would come in the form of an eruption. Like it's gonna happen all at once because there's all of this pent up energy, which is potential for change, that has been suppressed. I don't know, it's like emotions, passion, energy that has been suppressed, and eventually it's all gonna like erupt and create a bunch of powerful changes all at once. This does seem like a pretty significant and a pretty deep connection. We literally have the red thread of fate. So yes, this is a fated connection. You were meant to know them. They were meant to know you. You were meant to come into each other's lives. I feel like divine timing is a really big part of this connection. And that is, we want to talk about rage. Patience and trusting in divine timing can definitely be a frustrating thing sometimes. This seems like quite a significant journey, I want to say. Like the connection with this person feels like a journey. You could write a book about this stuff. You could write a novel. You could make a movie. Fervor and rage both seem to indicate a lot of passion and just a kind of highly strong energy. I think there's a lot of intense or passionate energy between the two of you. And I think that both of you might kind of actively have to calm it down. You might have to kind of detach from the intensity of this connection sometimes in order to keep moving forward. And I don't think that all of this intensity comes from this lifetime. I want to say that. It's funny to have the juxtaposition of this kind of like dark, intense energy and then this like peaceful dove. I think at the end of the day, you are protected and your connection is beautiful, but something about engaging with it or getting lost in the connection could bring up intense and sometimes dark emotions. I don't think I really need to describe about this person's traits because you already know who this is. I think you're coming into this reading with a very specific person in mind. And for this group in particular, I mean, for any tarot reading, I'm just here to confirm. But for this one in particular, I'm like, okay, I'm really just relaying messages of confirmation. You don't really need me to tell you anything. You know who this person is, you know what this connection is. Like, I don't have to tell you that, but here is the confirmation. Any other hints about this person or any other messages of confirmation? We have Judgment. So, ooh, okay. One thing, this person could have Scorpio placements, but Judgment is ruled by the planet of Pluto. And at the time that this video is going up, Pluto has just moved into Aquarius for good, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think it's gonna retrograde back into Capricorn anymore. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think something about Pluto changing signs for good is going to affect this connection. Okay, this is what's frustrating about the connection. It's divine timing. There's a divine timing for it that I feel like cannot really be messed with. And there's the fact that, and I actually feel very emotional when I say this, I think it's something that can be initially frustrating, but ultimately freeing when you accept it. Yes, this connection is for you. Yes, it's for you to experience personal joy, but this connection is for the collective. This connection exists because it benefits the collective, and I'm almost seeing like you didn't just make a soul contract with each other. You made a soul contract with the collective in some way, because what happens between you, it's not just about you. It's kind of about the world at large. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's like this soul agreement kind of affects things on a large scale. And so it's not just about your personal desire of when you want certain things to happen and like instant gratification. That's interesting. Yeah, like it's not just about you, it's about the collective. I also feel there's some kind of frustration about not really being able to tell people about this connection existing or how you experience it. Because maybe you think people would judge you or people wouldn't really understand it. Or maybe you just feel uncomfortable talking about it because you feel like it sounds very like out there. Because I feel like this connection is kind of out there. It's like the world is not super familiar with this type of thing. Any other hints or messages? We have the number 6, June 20, 6/20, or February 6, or June 2nd. The number 6, we have family, empathy, responsibility, nurturing, protection, peace, selflessness, and new responsibilities. Your person is trying to find balance in their life. They've been trying to find balance in their life for a very long time. And I think this is their higher self talking, but I just heard, I'm sorry if that's affecting you, or I'm sorry if that has affected you. Their 3D self kind of feels like they're struggling to get it together. And I think that they judge themselves a bit harshly because I think they could make a very compelling argument for having their life together. But isn't that how it always goes? I think we tend to feel, I don't know what I'm doing, my life is a mess. But from an outsider looking in, we probably look like we've got it figured out. And so I think that maybe this person is just being kind of harsh on themselves. They're struggling to find that perfect balance, that perfect health, that ideal self. And maybe they need to learn to just love themselves where they're at and not wait to be happy, not wait to feel at peace until some hypothetical moment in the future where everything falls into place. I'm also hearing moving goalposts. And this could be something that you both do. Like you set standards for yourself, but then you move the goalpost. So when you meet that standard, now suddenly there's something else you need to fix until you can be happy and fulfilled. I'm thinking of this song by Charlie XCX, I Might Say Something Stupid. I'm gonna write that down too. It's actually that whole Brat album and the remix album, oh my gosh, I love the vulnerability of it is just amazing. And especially that song, I Might Say Something Stupid. I feel like that could be kind of how they feel. It still hurts. I feel like this could be about so many different things. It still hurts. Yeah, I actually don't feel called to dig deep into that one. So maybe that's for you to discern what they're talking about. Of course it does. I also heard it feels like yesterday. It still feels like yesterday. Something that still hurts, something that they still can't wrap their head around or accept. Your person sometimes feels lonely. Not alone. I think they're surrounded by people, but there's something, they feel lonely in the sense of like nobody would understand this or nobody would relate to this, or maybe they feel lonely because there's something that they care about deeply and then people around them don't seem to care about it. And that just makes them feel a bit isolated. Oh, for the overall nature of their thoughts towards you, we have the sun. So you are like their sunshine. And it makes so much sense that I was picking up at the start of the reading that you have a calming presence to them. So if they're ever feeling like stressed, anxious, nervous, sad, your presence or even just the thought of you makes them feel better. And there's also a song called Make Me Feel Better that I want to put down. I don't know why this happens. I feel like this happens a lot where when I'm doing a reading, like a bunch of songs will be coming through for all of the groups except one. And then there's just randomly one group that doesn't have any songs. I don't know why, but that's quite strange. Yeah, you make them feel better. You're like a ray of sunshine in their life. You make them so happy. You light up their world. It's all things like that. I think they just can't help but smile and feel joy when they think about you. Maybe it's like thinking just about you, I think feels like this. Feels like a dove flying over a rainbow. Just thinking about your existence. Maybe thinking about the situation. I want to say the situation down here. Like the state of the world. We're worrying about the state of the world. Okay, we're worrying about each other. Thinking about what's going on in the 3D feels like this. Just thinking about your existence and the existence of the connection feels like this. And I think if I were you, I would just root myself in this, because that's what's going to guide you through this mess. That's really the lesson, isn't it? Remembering that this is here. Remembering that this was always here. What they show you versus what they really feel on the inside. Ooh, we have the King of Swords. Okay, and this, yeah, 2222. As this card came out. Gemini energy could be significant. Gemini, Leo with the sun. Okay, the King of Swords, very rational, logical, and the King of Swords has his eyes closed. So there's a feeling of someone presenting themselves as if they're asleep, like spiritually, but they're actually awake. Because what is this? This is someone who's asleep and someone who is just looking at the world in a very rational, I want to say with finger quotes, a very rational and logical way. So I'm thinking, someone who is skeptical, someone who's doesn't believe in intuition, someone who is not awake to spiritual truths, and they're just going through the world very like skeptical and analyze what's in front of me. So it's like someone is presenting themselves like that, but they're hella spiritual and hella tapped in, really. And in some cases, your person might even, like for some of you, I think it's just that they don't show or talk about their spiritual side. In some cases, your person might actually lie about it. For example, maybe they're in a group and someone starts talking about astrology. They might actually say like, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. But they really do. Or say things like, if there even is a higher power, if there even is a God, they'll say things like that, but they believe deep down. So for some reason, they're just presenting themselves in that way. Maybe it is for a fear of judgment. Maybe it's like a fear that people won't understand. And I kind of do this too, honestly, when I'm talking to people outside of the tarot community and like talking to non-spiritual people about tarot, I find that I kind of start to not lie, but I'll be like, oh, like it doesn't really have to be like a spiritual thing. You like I kind of start dismissing my spiritual belief in it because I feel like I'm gonna sound weird, if that makes sense. Whereas when I'm with you guys, I can just fully be like, yeah, spirit is talking to me. Spirit is talking to me through the cards. My guides are talking to me. But if I'm explaining what I do to a non-spiritual person, I might not really go there and kind of water it down. So I think your person does something like that. And so they portray themselves as more skeptical or more asleep, so to speak, than they actually are. Why do they think this way about you? Why do they feel this way about you? So they really are awake to the connection, even if they're not outwardly showing it. I think energetically they have more than shown you. They've shown you a lot. And we see that you are this ray of sunshine to them. So why do they think this way about you? The Four of... Sheesh, is that the Four of Cups? I think it is. Because I think that's an oyster with a little pearl in it. Again, like June, the month of June could be significant because pearl is the birthstone. Is pearl a stone? I guess so. It's like sand with oyster stuff around it. Pearl is a birthstone of June. Moon in Cancer could also be significant. The reason they feel this way about you is Four of Cups. And Four of Cups also has a person on it who looks asleep and looks like they're not paying attention. What is going on with this person? It's like, maybe that's why they feel lonely. Maybe they are a deeply spiritual person and maybe believe in things that they worry it's like too out there. They worry it's too like woo-woo. And so they don't really share that side of them a lot. And maybe even, like I said before, maybe even at times show the opposite and are maybe even a bit dishonest sometimes about what they do and don't believe and what they do and don't experience. And if you've directly or indirectly heard your person speaking in this way, it might feel kind of discouraging sometimes, but it's just because I think they don't feel safe to express that part of them. But somehow I think they feel like you would get it. Either because they know you'd get it, or they just have a gut feeling about your energy that like, I just heard like you're one of them. Like you're one of me. You're one of us kind of vibes. They just have that feeling. I think it's intuitive. They just have this intuitive feeling about you. And you're coming through as a major arcana for them. So they intuitively know that this is fated. They intuitively know that there's something important about you. By the way, this deck with these nails, I feel like is such a slay. They go the best with this deck. Okay, when do they think about you, or what reminds them of you? I'm hearing nostalgia. Something about you might feel nostalgic to them in a way they can't place, or something about you might feel familiar. How many is that? You know what? Let's just take all of them. So when we're asking when they think about you or what reminds them of you, a lot. They think about you a lot, and a lot reminds them of you. We have the Two of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. Okay, Seven of Cups, immediately, I feel that they are dreaming about you. They dream about you in their sleep, and they also daydream about you frequently. Fantasy is coming to my mind, so take that how it resonates. They could have some fantasies involving you. But I think it's more that when they daydream about you, it feels like fantasy to them. So maybe they think it's not actually going to happen, but I'm just fantasizing, When do they think about you? Six of Wands. when they feel confident, they think about wanting to impress you. So when they're doing something that they know they're good at, or when their strengths or talents are coming through, maybe it's like they wish they could show you that, or they wish that you could see that. This can also talk about achieving goals and milestones. So maybe they think about you when they reach a goal. It's like they wish that they could share it with you. And it feels childlike, you know, when a child is like, look at what I can do, or look at this thing I made. I'm not saying what they make is childish, but I mean that same sort of innocence of just wanting to share what you've done with someone you love or someone you care about. You know, the sun has a kind of childlike energy as well. So maybe you or thoughts of you really brings out their inner child. It could also really bring out their creative side. So you could be kind of like a muse to this person. But there's definitely a feeling of wanting to impress you and hoping that they come across in a good light towards you. And I think they think about the future with you. They think about whether you will be in their future. There's a feeling of every time they see you, they wonder if they will see you again. If they dream about you, maybe they wonder if they're going to dream about you again. Yeah, they wonder, are you in my future? I heard like this can't be all there is. It can't be just this. Cause like, what the heck is that? If you just show up and then in my life and then this is all there is. Like, there's gotta be something. Cause I know you're here for a reason. Okay. We're also gonna look at the bottom of the deck. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords, which that's quite interesting. It still hurts. And then we have the swords in the heart. You can take away the swords, but the cracks will still be there. You can glue the pieces back together, but you'll always see that fracture line. There's some pain that never goes away. Maybe it gets easier, but it never goes away. So I've been taking the bottom of the deck as something Spirit wants you to know about this connection. And so, yeah, I know that's not like a nice message, but Spirit wants you to know that this person is hurting, or wants you to know that it's okay to hurt. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be disappointed. I don't think I've done this before in a reading, maybe on Patreon, but I'm gonna link a TikTok that my friend sent me because I think the message could resonate with you. I'm not on TikTok, so usually if my friends send me links, I can't watch it on my phone because the phone tries to make me download the app, and I will not do that. But I can watch it on my computer. So if you don't have TikTok and you feel called to, you might be able to watch it on your computer. But if you don't want to, that's fine. I just thought maybe the message would resonate with you. Wow. Okay, so we are going to go into the extended now. So we're going to see, what would your person tell you if they were completely unfiltered and completely uninhibited? How would they react to your honest thoughts of them? And how is this connection going to progress in the next 3 to 6 months? So if you would like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch over 100 exclusive timeless readings just like this one, And you can also decide the topics for future readings. We do 2 new ones every month, so I will have that linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, to your higher self, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!